Let me begin by thanking the national and local environmental leaders for joining me today, and I'm proud to say that includes my colleagues. The 13 bills being introduced tomorrow will move our county closer to meeting our pledge to significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions and meeting the President's goal of doubling our energy productivity by 2030. Increasing energy efficiency remains the most cost-effective approach to improving energy productivity and reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and it is a central part of this legislative package. But we must not only use less energy, we need to use cleaner sources of energy. And this legislative package will also make sure that we use more solar, wind, and other forms of renewable energy. And last but not least, we need to reduce the consumption of gasoline in our transportation sector and embrace and support a future full of electric vehicles. This package includes measures to move us forward there as well. It's pretty simple, really. If we want to help our planet, improve the quality of life in Montgomery County, and foster a green economy here, we need to use less energy and more clean energy. Thanks to the hard work of my colleagues before I joined the council and since, our county has long embraced sustainability as a core value. We are building on that foundation today, branding our county as a green community that understands what it takes and means to be a steward of our environment and a creator of a green economy. I am proud to say that all 13 bills have the support of a majority of my colleagues, and I sincerely thank my colleagues for their own commitment to this work. This work is not only important for what it will do for us, but for what it means more broadly. We simply can no longer look to the federal government to lead us responsibly when it comes to addressing the issue of climate change. Somewhere around 80% of our nation's population lives in urban and suburban communities like ours. That is why it is imperative that progressive communities like ours move forward responsibly to fill the vacuum created by the failure at the federal level. Fortunately, there's much we can do. We need not wait for others. This package of energy efficiency, renewable, and electric vehicle legislation moves us forward. Tomorrow, I was honored to be asked by the Secretary of Energy, Secretary Moniz, to join him and 9 other national environmental and energy leaders for a 1.5-hour roundtable discussion of precisely these kinds of issues. And I will share with him then my belief that given the failure of Republicans to join responsibly in addressing climate change, that one of the most important missions of the Department of Energy must be to help local governments like ours do precisely the kinds of things that we are doing here. So I'm very pleased and honored to have been asked to join such an incredible group of people and to have this unique opportunity to share my thoughts with the Secretary directly. Now let me turn to the real stars of this press conference, the national and local environmental leaders, including green business leaders, who will share their perspectives on this package and our county's commitment to sustainability. Let me begin by introducing a friend and colleague, Kateri Callahan, President of the Alliance to Save Energy, the nation's leading energy efficiency advocate for the past 36 years, and like many of our nation's leaders, a Montgomery County and District 1 resident.
Thanks very much, Roger, and I am just delighted to be here. The Alliance to Save Energy, as Roger said, has been around for 36 years, and our mission is to advance energy efficiency, not only for the environmental benefits, but also for the economic benefits that accrue when you use energy more efficiently, and the energy security. I'm just delighted to join such a champion of energy efficiency. Roger is nationally recognized as an energy efficiency and sustainable energy champion. He's done work at all levels of government, from local all the way up through state, regional, and at the national level, and we at the Alliance have benefited from that tremendously over the years. Roger really embodies the spirit of the Alliance to Save Energy. We actually have sitting members of Congress who serve as honorary members of our board of directors. We have 16, and it's bicameral and it's bipartisan. And these folks, notwithstanding the mess that can be Washington, D.C., reach across the aisle and try to work together on common sense approaches that can benefit all of us, and that's really what we see embodied in Roger's package of bills. He's going to get it done. He's put forward a vision that can be embraced whether you're a conservative or a liberal or somewhere in between, and that really is something that's very important. He mentioned the goal of doubling energy productivity in the U.S. between now and 2030, and what that means is getting twice as much GDP from each unit of energy that we use. That is a goal that was put forward by the Alliance to Save Energy last year. And we put forward 54 recommendations for policymakers at all levels of government and businesses to achieve that goal. I'm going to talk real quickly about how the package of proposals that Roger put forward really moves the needle on that doubling energy productivity. But before I do that, I want to say, why is that important? We modeled doubling energy productivity at the national level. What that means to our country is we would have a net savings of $327 billion a year beginning in 2030. We would reduce CO2 levels to below, 1/3 below 2005 levels of CO2 emissions. Very, very significant climate impact. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we'd create 1.3 million jobs. We'd save the average family an estimated $1,040 a year on their energy bills. So Montgomery County needs its fair share of it. I need my fair share as a Montgomery County resident, and Roger's bill is going to get us there. He has built his proposals around the three key elements we believe are necessary to double energy productivity: invest. He has put forward measures that would have people invest in making all new buildings EV ready. He's investing in a new Office of Sustainability under another one of the proposals. The second strategy, invest is first, second is modernize. He put forward a bill to change the street lighting in Montgomery County to LED, light-emitting diodes. Arlington County is a little bit ahead of us on this. They're estimating their energy cost savings at 75% on street lighting from this. And also, he's modernizing building codes by requiring, he would modernize building codes by requiring that all buildings be LEED Silver certified, all new buildings. Finally, education, key tool. The old adage of knowledge is power couldn't be more true. He's requiring benchmarking and disclosure of building energy use in commercial buildings. Energy Star Portfolio Manager is a tool that a lot of people use right now for doing just that, disclosing and measuring. And people that use that portfolio manager are averaging savings of 7% a year on their energy bills. So very significant in large commercial property. So this is a common sense proposal. I'm so glad that the City Council is standing up and going to work on this in a bipartisan way. They're saying yes to the environment. They're saying yes to our quality of life here in Montgomery County, and they're saying a big, big yes to our economy. So thank you, Roger.
Now we will hear from Phil Henderson of the Natural Resources Defense Fund. And Phil was one of the people that I turned to on the benchmarking bill and the commissioning bill because NRDC has taken a leadership role in that work, and I was pleased to get his help and pleased that he's here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Berliner. My name is Philip Henderson. I'm with the Natural Resources Defense Council. I'd like to say a few words about the benchmarking proposal that is part of the package that's being introduced. Now, benchmarking brings needed light to the energy use of buildings. It means making information about energy use available not only to the owner, but to prospective tenants, to existing tenants, to lenders, to insurers, other market participants, so that markets can work better. Large buildings account for a major portion of energy use in the county and in the country. And addressing energy use in buildings with this sort of common sense proposal is an essential tool. In so doing, it saves consumers and businesses money and helps to cut toxic pollution from power plants. Montgomery County will join leading cities in the country with this sort of measure. Not only cities like New York and Washington, but Chicago, Philadelphia, and others. And as far as I know, it's the first county to proceed in this manner and with such leadership. So on behalf of NRDC, I'd like to thank Councilmember Berliner for his leadership and look forward to working with Montgomery County.
Thank you. And now we'll turn to Brian Toll, who's wearing two hats today. He's wearing the hat of our local Sierra Club, which has been a great leader in this work as well. And Brian also is a local businessman who is deeply invested in creating green jobs and bringing about energy efficiency here in Montgomery County. Eco-Beco.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Toll with the Montgomery County Sierra Club. We just want to thank the council and Roger for a set of bills that will do a lot towards helping climate change and shows a very aggressive stance towards it. And it's something our members surely appreciate. The depth of what we're seeing here will touch a lot of people in Montgomery County, and we're hopeful that that will change behaviors and make people more aware of helping make the county more efficient. In terms of being a business owner, lots and lots of jobs here for local businesses, and we're very excited to be part of implementing a green future for Montgomery County. Thank you.
I am pleased that not only does these measures have the support of a majority of my colleagues, but also of the administration as well. Mr. White?
Thank you, Roger. Bob Hoyt, Director of the Department of Environmental Protection. It's a pleasure and honor to stand up here with a council member yet again. It seems like in my 6 years of tenure as director, I've spent a lot of time standing up here and supporting bills that he has introduced. He's pushed the envelope right from the beginning with a sustainability working group, which developed a lot of the goals that we have now in place that these legislative proposals are meant to achieve. So we're really looking forward to working with Councilmember Berliner and the other council members to develop this package, and thank him very much for putting together what is the best practices throughout the country and making sure that we do stay #1 here in Montgomery County. It's something we're all very proud of. And I do stand to speak in not only for myself, but Bonnie Kirkland's here from the County Executive's Office. I have Doug Weisberger, who's been here since the beginning and participated in the Sustainability Working Group. And our outreach and new expert, Jessica Jones in the back, is also here. And we're really looking forward to taking us to that next level of environmental stewardship. So thank you, Roger, and thank you, Council, for all your help.
Thank you, Bob. As I mentioned at the beginning, this work builds on a foundation that predated me. Councilmember Leventhal and Councilmember Florine had done great work in this regard before I joined the council. And our council, as you can see by the people that are here, and the fact that a majority of the council is on record in supporting each and every one of these bills, I think you can appreciate that this council is 100% committed to a sustainable future. So let me turn first to Councilmember Leventhal and then Councilmember Florine because of their good work before I joined the council.
Come on up, Nancy. Well, thank you, Roger, and it's great. You've done a tremendous job as chairman of our Energy and Environment Committee. You've done a lot of research on this package of measures, and I appreciate your acknowledging that prior to your election to the council, Montgomery County was in the forefront. We were among the first counties in the nation to adopt a renewable energy portfolio of our own, and actually the first piece of legislation I introduced as a council member was the resolution mandating that we would purchase a percentage of our total electricity portfolio from clean renewable energy. That's 30% today, and one of the measures in your package would take that to 50%. And at the time, in the last decade, we were actually the largest purchaser of clean energy in the eastern United States. That's not true anymore. The recession intervened, and Montgomery County is no longer in the forefront. A number of innovative things that we were doing to try to achieve our greenhouse gas reduction goals, we abandoned or stepped away from during the recession. Now we're coming out of the recession. But the weather impacts that we're seeing, the climate impacts that we're seeing are visible and felt by our constituents. One of the great things about living in and representing Montgomery County is that our public supports what Franklin Roosevelt called bold, persistent experimentation. Our public believes in the power of government to make innovative and useful and future-oriented public policy. And that's what this package of measures is doing today. Again, I congratulate the chairman of our Energy and Environment Committee for his good work, and I'm happy to stand here with him.
Let me just add, George and Councilmember Andrews and I have been at this for a long time, and we appreciate the recognition. And what people need to understand, Montgomery County has been deep into this game. In fact, I've asked, spent some months trying to get out of our staff a full list of all our clean energy, environmental initiatives that have been put into place in the past few years, and it's really hard. And why is that hard? It's because it's so ingrained in what we do. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with us here in the council to push the limit, to move us forward, and I'm very pleased to be here to support Councilmember Berliner's effort, because he is a real leader on this, and this is moving us forward in exactly the right direction. So thank you very much, Roger. Thanks for letting us be part of this.
And Mr. Andrews, Mr. Navarro, sure, Mr. Andrews first, the seniority,
Okay.
we're going to do seniority.
All right. Well, I want to thank Councilmember Berliner for his leadership on these measures. It's nothing new for Roger. And these bills, as the author epitomizes, really epitomize the motto, think globally and act locally. This is what Montgomery County can do to help address the crisis of climate change and to work to make our county more sustainable. So it wasn't long after Roger sent these 13 bills over, after looking over, that it was easy to turn to Roger and say, Roger that, because he does his research, he has led on this issue before, and these bills will take Montgomery County to the next level, and it's a pleasure to help support them. And I really thank the environmental leaders who are here today from the different organizations, and Bob Hoyt, who's been doing great work across the street. So the prognosis is good because we have leaders like Councilmember Berliner on these and many other issues.
Two of the people I most enjoy working with on these sets of issues, Councilmember Eldridge, Ms. Navarro.
I said to Councilmember Elrich, this is supposed to be seniority before beauty, and he said something about age. But so I am the most recent person to join the county council in 2009, but before then I served on the Board of Education, and I just wanted to highlight how it is really wonderful to serve in this county, because during my service on the Board of Education, we also pursued a goal of ensuring that our new schools would definitely at least aspire to be Gold LEED certified. And I think that I only mention that because it is really, truly amazing to tell the story of how this county continues to be so committed to constantly look at ways that we can make an impact. And so it's absolutely true. What happens locally really does affect what happens on a state level and regional level and on a national level. And it's funny because we do say, locally in local jurisdictions, but we do forget that this is a county of 1 million people, 500 square miles, and I think that our leadership really does matter. So thank you, Councilmember Berliner. It is wonderful, I think, to be able to work collaborative with him and with my other colleagues and with all the national environmental leaders and local ones to make things happen. And hopefully, when we're not here, somebody will hopefully look back and say, that's where that was addressed, and hopefully we will continue to have an amazing place to call home. So thank you so much for everything.
I want to thank Roger for taking the lead on this, and I want to say that how good it is to be in Montgomery County where these issues are not debatable, where being out front and doing the right thing on the environment is not something that's subject to divisive debate in the council. It's something that all of us support, and we actually have a history of it. I think we have recent experience where sometimes taking the lead on issues sometimes generates local, state, national attention, and I think that it's really good to see that we're taking the lead on this. I think George is right. There was a time when Montgomery County was out front, and then the recession intervened, and it would be nice to go back out front again to see what we can do that puts us in the lead, but more importantly, what we can do that's right. The climate change issue is real. Somebody has to be serious about it. And I really firmly believe that, this is more and more going to become local solutions, that people are going to look at Washington and say, you do not have the right to condemn us to a future that we don't want to be a part of. And to the extent that at the local level we have the ability to change our futures, we're going to do that. So I thank Roger for taking the lead on this. And like I said, I really enjoy working with the council where this is going to go through, and it's going to be a friendly, collaborative effort to get it there. Thank you.
So let me thank everyone for being here, our national leaders, our local leaders, my colleagues. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to entertain any questions if there are any. And if not, we thank you so much for being here.